Kyle Larson's being scored below the cut line. So Kyle Larson, one of the early favorites in these playoffs, potentially out and won't make it to the round of 8.
And Rick, when he fires the engine back up, you can hear it just is running very sour. It does not sound correct at all. Scotty Maxim is one of the head guys in the Hendrick engine department, has come down to the 42 camp to see if he can diagnose anything. And Chad Johnson just told him, just run it as long as you can.
Basically, all he can hope for right now is that a lot of other people have problems. That's really what his hope is, that the people he's racing with, trying to move into the next round, that they get in wrecks, they have mechanical issues. If not, he stands a very good chance of not advancing.
A week ago, we talked about make sure you don't get caught up in the big one, in the accidents, because Talladega is so difficult, especially if you're a part of the playoffs. Well, he was running up front, almost taking the lead at Talladega, and got collected. He could have won that race, guaranteed him a spot in the round of 8. And now, as he comes to Kansas, he's currently below the cut line.
Well, once again, everybody kept telling everyone that there were 3 cars definitely going to Miami Homestead. The 78, the 42, and the 18. And we've seen 2 of those 3 have major issues in this round. Marty.
And Jeff, I just checked in with Scotty Maxim. They thought the engine, Steve, and you can decipher this a little bit more, was in low oil protection mode, but it's in some sort of limp mode. So they're currently trying to figure out a plan as to what they can do to maybe fix the problem. Jeff Andrews, the head engine builder at Hendrick Motorsports, is now down here, but it's in sort of some limp mode, if you will, for the 42.
Meant a catastrophic failure. Well, it seems like perhaps they aren't having the mechanical issue. Maybe it's an electrical issue. So the engine is responding. Maybe a sensor's gone bad, saying it has a mechanical issue. That could be why the 42's not running up to full power.
We saw that very thing out of the 4 of Kevin Harvick at Talladega. It would not continue to run because, as you mentioned, the EC unit was telling it had a problem. Dave.
With all the cars that stayed out, Rick, the 48 restarted in 16th position, out of stage points. Jimmy's cars worked very well and is all the way up to 5th in position to earn some. By the way, Matt Kenseth went the other way. Parker on the 24.
And the guy chasing that 48 car would be his teammate, Chase Elliott, in the 24. Coming into this race, he'd scored the most stage points of any playoff drivers in this round. And they started this race 15th, but he's worked his way up to 7th, as you see, using that high lane. It was a little tight to start the race, but the car has come to him, and he's very happy with it right now, Marty.
And Parker, they just asked Kyle Larson to go to the diagnostics page on the ECU on his screen right in front of him. He's saying it's showing low oil protection mode and stuck throttle protection mode. So they're right now asking him, are those letters white or those letters red? He's saying nothing is red on the screen right now. So Steve, they're again trying to formulate a plan down here as to how they can fix this for Kyle Larson with maybe his playoffs on the line.
So you can't be guaranteed about the oil because perhaps you have an oil pump going bad, but Kyle Larson can guarantee that it's not stuck at wide open. He can move the throttle, so it definitely sounds like an electrical issue, perhaps some sort of sensor issue.
Number, and then I need the lambda left and right. There should be 2 lambda numbers. I need both of those. ECU app status 1 is 0. The lambda, well, here, let me do it on wide open. It's about 983, and then the lambda is 932. Lambda is, yeah, like 900.
Rick, we all know how dangerous it is to text and drive. Well, he's reading text messages basically on the dash, trying to make laps around this 1.5-mile racetrack.
Yeah, at nearly 180 miles an hour. I know he's going a little bit slower than the rest of the guys, but still carrying some impressive speed around here. As we continue to listen to that communication, take a look at this situation. Entering Kansas, 3rd in the points, 29 points above the cutoff line. Now he's 10th, and he's 21 points behind that cutoff line.
Well, I think the main thing right now, if you look at where everybody's running, the entire top, where Erik Jones is running 10th, but everybody in the top 9 are guys that are in the playoffs. So on a day where Kyle Larson could have a catastrophic day, everyone else is having a good one.
But Jeff, the big winner of this first stage has got to be Kyle Busch, currently leading. If he can stay in this position as we have the 42, finally letting go on the front stretch, smoking down the apron here, Rick.
And there it went. So the ECU couldn't even protect the engine for Kyle Larson, and now Kyle Larson's hopes of making it into the round of 8 go up in smoke.
Well, this tells me it wasn't just an electronic issue, unless that caused some sort of mechanical failure. You see the smoke out the pipes. You know, listen, there's 100 things that could be inside the engine, but definitely a failure that he's not going to be able to recover from.
And this is one of the teams and drivers that everyone feared going to Homestead. Everybody talks about how good Kyle Larson is running the top of the racetrack. We just spoke about it. This race team, if they could go to Miami Homestead, everyone believed could be a favorite. You could see right now a championship ended because the last 4 races laid out so well for this race team.
So now, Jeff, the only thing this 42 can do is sit back and hope someone else has trouble. It's going to be very difficult. We're going to have to see where everybody officially finishes at the end of this stage, because they will automatically earn points. But remember, he was plus 29. So even stage points aren't going to be enough to eliminate him. What if 2 or 3 cars have an accident? I think if you're one of those middle cars, maybe Hamlin, Elliott, you have to think that if we just run okay here, we're going to eliminate the 42. That has to be kind of a changing strategy as we go, Rick. You have to understand where everybody is within the points rundown.
And you think about how things happen at certain times. This is the first DNF for an engine for Kyle Larson since he's been a full-time Cup driver, and it happens at such a pivotal time in his career. As we've all mentioned, definitely one of the favorites for the championship this season, and now could be eliminated right here at Kansas.
It shows you how hard it is to actually win a championship. In these 3 race segments within these playoffs, if you have 2 bad races, I don't care how many playoff points you got, you can find yourself out.
Great chance that this one will end under caution as far as stage 1.
Nationwide is on your side. What you think?
We're almost there. On the jingle, though, Brad, I want to feel it right here.
Like here in the chest?
No, your heart.
Heart.
In your heart. Yes! Close. Close. We're almost there. Almost.
Well, basically got it, right?
Basically almost, but you're doing great.
What did I just get into? Nothing.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Bliss with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
Dolphins, Ravens, Thursday night football. When it's on, live and in prime time. Thursday at 8 Eastern.
All rise for Premier League mornings, Saturday on NBCSN.
You want your kids to be active, to learn about teamwork, and build confidence. But when it's time to find the right sport for them, it's hard to know where to start. Which sports are the best fit? And which local programs provide a safe experience? At SportsEngine.com, you can search and compare sports programs in your area, then pick the one that's right for your family. Sports Engine makes it easier than ever to get your kids into the game.
The Patriots have won in the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
A crushing defeat for Atlanta.
You know, it's hard to find words tonight. There's nothing you can really say.
This win. It's about honor, about respect.
Sunday night is football night, only on NBC.
Back at the Kansas Speedway, about to wrap up stage 1. It will finish without Kyle Larson, who came in plus 29 to the cut line. Kyle, what was the first indication something was wrong with the engine?
I felt it drop a cylinder or something. So disappointing. Way to finish our race and probably our season, but we'll be all right.
I know in the possible scenarios of things that happened today or that were going to happen, this is probably nowhere on the list for you. Will you sit and watch the points and see how it plays out, or what?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to watch, cross my fingers and pray to anything I can pray to, but I don't think 29 points is enough. So disappointing, but we've had a good year. Got to thank Credit One Bank, Target, everybody that's been involved. Chip, Felix, Rob. Sucks to have the engine failure, but it's just, it is what it is.
And if a season of work like this to end so suddenly, what's the emotion like right now?
I don't know. I guess it's sinking in as the second passes by, but I don't know. Things happen. You know, I think you look at the past playoffs. You know, the 78 had an engine issue last year, best car all year, and then us.